Namaste yogis, and welcome to our Yin Yoga practice. In today's class, we're going to be using 2 blocks, so bring those with you to your mat. We're going to begin by coming into a reclined Supta Baddha Konasana position. We'll place the blocks under the knees, soles of the feet touch, knees open wide. Take a moment to settle in and find your pose, and then place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And let's begin by just tuning into our breath. Notice the simplicity of the breath flowing in and out. Begin to elongate the inhalation and the exhalation. Just lengthening the breath. In today's practice, I invite you to embrace simplicity. In our busy lives, we can often lose touch with the power of simplicity. But think for a moment on how simplicity can nourish our bodies and our minds. If you've had a particularly hot workout, the beverage that quenches your thirst is not full of powders or dyes, it's simply water. Or when you need to clear your mind, it's not loud music and stimulation that clears your mind, but just stepping out into nature and listening to the birds sing. And in the same way, our yoga practice offers us an invitation to come back to simplicity by simply watching the breath and coming into stillness and quiet. So as we move through our practice today, I invite you to step into simplicity by watching your breath, embracing moments of quiet, and allowing your nervous system to calm down and decompress. We'll be resting in each of our postures for about 3 to 4 minutes. And if you feel like at any time you need to come out, you can just back off a little bit, but try to stay with the pose and certainly stay with the breath. On the next breath in, gently release the palms down to the outsides of the knees and use your hands to guide your knees up. We'll remove the blocks, set those to the side. And from here, we'll simply come into a spinal twist. Begin by hugging the knees into the chest, cactusing the arms, and then dropping the knees over to the right. I like to shift my hips over to the left to make sure that the hips are stacked one on top of the other. Keep the left arm bent at the elbow at 90 degrees. And you can use that right hand for a little leverage, pressing it down on the knees. And then simply be here. Give your body the time, the space to open, to expand. On your next breath in, gently draw the knees back to center. Shift the hips over to the right, and then drop the knees to the left. Open the right arm out to the right, bending the elbow 90 degrees. Gaze out over the right shoulder and use your left hand for a little leverage to press against the knees. And then come back into your breath. On your next breath in, gently draw the knees back to center. Hug those into your chest and gently Rock side to side, massaging out your spine. And now let's clasp underneath the knees and softly rock up to a seat. And from here we'll come into a wide Supta Baddha Konasana with a block underneath the feet. In this variation, let's place the feet about 2 footprints away from the body. So we're going for a diamond shape with the knees. We'll place a block underneath the feet and then thread the forearms underneath the calves and around the block. You can round your back and rest the head on the feet, or if it doesn't quite reach, take your other block and place it on top of the feet and rest your head on the block. In this pose, it's perfectly fine for the back to be rounded. Let that be okay. Find your pose, settle in, come into an awareness of your breath. In the Tao Te Ching, it is said that the weak overcomes the strong and the soft overcomes the hard. So let's use the softness of this practice to overcome the strong tendency of the mind to always be thinking and engaging in planning, looking forward and backward. Let it be soft and light. Find the spaces between your thoughts and allow the gentleness of your pose to overcome the hardness of the musculature, the tightness, the tension that wraps the filaments and fibers around the muscles. Let it dissolve into the softness of your pose. Spacious mind, soft body. On your next breath in, gently come back into a seat. Let's set that block off to the side. And we'll bring some blood flow back into the hips. Just place the feet out in front of you, knees bent up to the sky. Hands behind you with palms facing forward. And just shift the knees to the right and to the left. Just go back and forth, windshield wipering the legs, bringing some fresh oxygenated blood back into the hips. And now from here, let's come on to our hands and knees, coming into a tabletop pose. And we'll take that right hand and extend it up to the sky. Try to keep the hips level. And as you exhale, thread the right arm behind the left wrist, coming all the way down to the right shoulder and the right ear. You have a couple of options with that left hand. You can keep it where it is on the mat, or walk it forward, straightening the arm. Some of you might like to wrap that left arm around behind you in a bind. So just notice what feels right for your body. And once you decide where you'd like to be, I want you to come back into watching the breath. And even more specifically, watch the spaces between the breath. There's a tiny pause at the top of the inhale and at the bottom of the exhale. Just notice those. Bring awareness to the stillness within the movement. Just a few more breaths here. And then very gently begin to make your way out of this pose back into a tabletop position, moving slowly, mindfully. And let's just release that with a few cat-cows. Drop the belly. And then as you exhale, round the spine, chin to your chest. Inhale, open the heart, drop the abdomen to the earth. As you exhale, round, upper spine doming toward the sky. Inhale, open. And exhale, release, round the spine. Move with your breath, allowing the inhale to initiate the movement and the exhale to complete the movement. Notice what that feels like to really connect breath and movement. And then from here, we'll come back to a neutral spine, and let's stretch out the wrists for a moment here. Just flip the palms, rest on the tops of the hands with the fingertips facing back toward the knees. If this is too intense, you can do one hand at a time. We'll just be here for a couple of breaths. And then to come out of this, first shift the hips back and then release the hands. Let's come into our second side. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. And as you exhale, thread the left arm behind the right, coming down to the left shoulder. Right palm can stay pressing on the earth or walk it forward. Make sure that the hips stay stacked over the knees. Find your pose and then just allow the body to relax into it. Sometimes it doesn't feel so relaxing at first, and that's okay. Just find your pose and rest there, knowing that any slight discomforts are just the body's way of releasing the tension around the musculature. So as long as there's no pain, it's just a slight discomfort, allow yourself to stay there, to be in that. Practice being in something that is less than comfortable, with steadiness of mind and ease of the breath. The Tao Te Ching says, "The great Tao is broad and plain, but people like the side paths." To me, this speaks about simplicity. Rather than taking the simple path, following nature's cues, being with the simplicity of the breath, with stillness and calmness. We like bright, colorful, flashing signs on the side of the road. We like things that say, "No previous experience necessary," or "Lose weight while you sleep," when really, if we come back to that broad, plain path, we'll notice that simplicity is the way. You can practice that here on your mat. Find the simplicity of one single pose and be here with breath and presence. Your inhale, gently come back up to your tabletop pose. And from here, let's move the hands one palm print forward, tuck the toes, and press back into a downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal out the knees. Just create a little circulation. And then on an inhale, reach the right toes up to the sky. And as you exhale, take the right knee and place it behind the right wrist. Flex that right foot as you extend the left leg behind you, coming into a pigeon pose. On an inhale, open the heart, open the chest. And as you exhale, begin to walk the hands forward, coming into sleeping pigeon, resting the forehead on the mat. It's often said that the emotions are stored energetically in the area of the hips. So this is a really good place to rest and allow the body to release some of the emotional energy that it has taken on. All you have to do is be present, be still, and breathe. The body will do the rest. There's an infinite wisdom and intelligence working within you. Just let it do its work. As you breathe in, softly begin to walk yourself back up. Tuck your back toes and then press back to a downward dog. Take a moment to pedal out through the feet. Maybe you'd like to extend the right leg up high, bending that knee, taking a few circles in one direction and then the other direction. And then lower the right toes back to the earth. On an inhale, left toes reach to the sky. And as you exhale, place the left knee behind the left wrist. Flex that foot as you extend the right leg out behind you. On an inhale, press through the palms, open the heart, Broaden the shoulders. And then as you exhale, walk your hands forward, releasing the forehead onto the mat. The Tao Te Ching says in chapter 76 that while alive, the body is soft and pliant. When dead, it is hard and rigid. All living things, grass and trees, while alive, are soft and supple. When dead, become dry and brittle. Thus, that which is hard and stiff is the follower of death. That which is soft and pliant is the follower of life. And there we have the magic of yoga, and specifically Yin Yoga. In these longer held postures, we invite the body to become soft and pliant, flexible and open. We invite life force and vitality to course through the body so that we don't become hard and rigid. So enjoy this process of opening, softening, and inviting in life. On your next breath in, gently, softly walk yourself back up. Tuck the right toes and press back to downward facing dog. Extend the left leg high, bending the left knee. Take a few circles in both directions. And then release the left toes down to the earth. Take a breath in and a breath out. Now let's shift forward into a plank pose and lower all the way down to the belly, coming into a Sphinx posture. Place the elbows under the shoulders, forearms straight forward and palms flat against the mat. Feet can be hip distance apart. And you'll just stay here, allowing the heart and the chest to open and expand. And as you're opening your heart here, I'd like you to come back to the passage from the Tao Te Ching that says, when alive, the body is soft and pliant. When dead, it is hard and rigid. All living things, grass and trees, while alive, are soft and supple. And I'd like you to apply this now, not just to the body, but to the mind. Where have you been rigid and hard in your beliefs, your opinions, your stances? Where can you soften to become more flexible, more open, more receptive? You don't have to have the answer, just simply plant the seed of a question. Where can I be more flexible in my mind? Notice what arises. You can stay right where you are in your Sphinx pose, or for those of you who would like, you can begin to straighten through the arms, coming into seal pose, pointing the hands out at 45-degree angles, keeping a soft bend in the elbows. Being mindful to keep the shoulders and the chest open. Notice that the rest of the body is still soft. You're not gripping or clenching anywhere in the body. Rather, just using a soft pressure of the arms and the hands against the earth to invite opening, flexibility through the spine. If you're in seal pose, go ahead and lower back to the elbows, coming into your Sphinx posture. And then let's all press the palms against the mat and come into a wide leg child's pose. Spread the knees to the edges of the mat. Release the forehead. And completely surrender. Let go. On your next breath in, gaze forward and gently draw yourself up to your hands and knees. And then from here, we'll simply spin around onto our sit bones, release the legs forward, preparing for a seated forward fold. Just shift the hips side to side until you feel the sit bones anchored to the earth. On an inhale, reach the arms overhead. And as you exhale, hinge forward, clasping the feet, or bring a block with you and place that on the shins if you'd like to rest your forehead on a block. And then release the weight of the body, the torso, the head. Let everything just soften. Come back into the stillness and the spaciousness of your breath. As you inhale, gently begin to walk yourself back up. Set any props off to the side, and we'll prepare for Shavasana. I'm going to actually use my blocks and place those underneath my ankles for a little added support. This is optional. You can try it, see if it feels good for your body. And as you're ready, make your way onto your back for full surrender. Simply be here and observe whatever arises without judgment or preconception. Let the mind drift like clouds drifting across the sky, and begin to connect with yourself as that vast spaciousness of the sky your consciousness, watching thoughts move across the screen of your awareness. You're not the thoughts, you're the awareness. And as you rest here with the body still and relaxed, feel that true essence of your being. Begin to deepen your breath and allow the movement of breath to expand through your body, creating soft, subtle movements. As you're ready, hug your knees into your chest and roll over to either side. Pause. Notice the mind and body coming back online, but keep the softness of your practice. Keep the presence that you've created here. Gently rise up to a seat, coming into a cross-legged position. Draw the hands to your heart center. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Deep breath in and let it go. And again, deep breath in and let it go. We'll close out our practice with the sound of Om. The vibrations of Om will continue to resonate through your body and mind even after the practice is complete. Let's draw a deep breath in together. Om. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.